Hey, welcome to Life Success. I'm your host, Laurie, and today we're talking about why self-improvement is a part of coaching, life coaching in general. So if you ever hired a coach, followed a coach like me, or even just watched a coach, that's a good question, right? Hoping it would actually fix your life, and here is the situation where somebody tells you up front coaching doesn't work unless you change your circumstances. Well, yes and no, because it all comes down to what you want, how you want to live your life. But there are circumstances and some things that you face in life. So hey, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Laurie, and I make CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy based tools for everyday life, practical psychology, and I create blogs about basically this kind of subject for self-help, and especially when mental health in our country of New Zealand is struggling. So let's look at a question of getting constantly a vision of what you want. And this is what a coach always does, look at what your mindset is. And I just want to help hint my goal mission to you and what you want to do with your life and where you want to go. So what is it you want? What do you want to do in your life? How and where? That's the thing. That's my goal, to help you achieve that goal. So what can we do? So let's look at coaching is future focused, and the future requires change. Why? And this is where I read Atomic Habits by James Clear, and this helps habits in general. So when you're dealing with habits, let's look at how we can change that behavior. And as a coach, it's my job to dig through the certain amount of things, but not your full-on past, unless you're wanting to share it. So this is the difference with coaches and therapists. And why do coaches always want to talk about mindset? Well, we teach it. We teach the concept of cognitive behavioral therapy to help you with your mindset and dealing with a lot of negativity and emotional control. So really, our coach job isn't about dragging that negativity up all the time. It's helping you face your fears with courage. So what is it you want to do, and how do you want to do it? That is self-improvement by definition. There is no version of moving forward that doesn't involve becoming someone slightly different than who showed up on a day-to-day basis. It's about what works for you. What is it you want in life and how you want to confront that. So really, you can't coach someone forward to a future self without also building the self. So what is it how do you want to be as a person? Do you want to be a person that values certain things? Do you want to value love? Do you want to value certain behaviors? Because there are pretty much a lot of negative people who will not value, especially when it comes to love. There are people who will see things that way in a different aspect, a very negative way, especially when it comes to sexual relationships. And we got to be mindful of that too. Now, here's what actually happens in coaching. Someone who comes in waiting an external result a promotion, a business launch, a better relationship, but almost everyone else has those goals and out on the same hard situation, internal obstacles. So the usual suspects are a limiting belief, procrastination, rooted on pretty much fear of failure, and negative self-talk, which is common. We all do this. And that pretty much is a self-sabotage, and avoidance of hard conversations or decisions. And this is very common. I've come across this many, many times with actually people in general. So the coach ends up working on the internal operation system. And because that's what actually is blocking our outer result and self-improvement, isn't a detour from the goal. It's actually direction route that we need to do. Self-awareness is important. It's an engineer and it's an engine to every change. So you cannot build a barrier. It really wouldn't do any justice. So you cannot build a better habit without actually having some kind of set, clear boundary with somebody, and also making a better decision with the first saying your own patterns very clearly and noticing the feeling that it processes, and ask whether the thought actually holds up. And if it doesn't and there's no evidence, well, then you got to let it go. So really, the situation, my coach gave me feedback on my plan, automatic thought, I'm bad at this, I should give up. Check, is that thought a fact or something else, or a feeling? What would I tell a friend who said this to themselves? And that's a challenge that we all have every day. Without the kind of self-awareness, this is a challenge that we struggle with every day. It's a common thing. And coaching becomes pretty much your cheerleader, encouragement, and with no, distraction or telling you that you can and can't do it, coaching becomes transformation for you. It's that person encouraging you to keep going. And that's where you need that support. And this is what a life coach does. Sustainable changes is a skill, not an event. A good coach isn't handing you a plan 24/7. It's actually, they're teaching you how to keep improving after the coaching relationship ends. So it's just encouragement, and the real win is what you do, not the one goal you hit, and the self-reflection muscle you get to build. And that's where, think of a way that consultant hands you an answer, and a coach that helps you become the kind of person you want to be. You are the one that finds the answer. And that self-improvement function is actually the product. So why the discouragement matters to you? Well, that's a challenge, isn't it? We all face that. If you chase goals right now and feeling stuck and ask yourself these questions all the time and obstacles, yeah, that's common. This is common, really, especially halfway through the year, or even, closer to the end of the year, and you're like, oh, I didn't even make it, And sometimes we all have the fear and stories that we tell ourselves about who we are, and most of the time it's the second one. So that's a character flaw. And this is where humans are wired. We're just only human, aren't we? And the good news is the thought patterns can be rearranged. It can be fixed. And the same way, a habit or a skill is transformable. So if you want a structure way to start doing the work on your own, or no coach required, but put together a free CBT guide that walks you through exactly this, catching the thought and replacing something actually serves you, then follow me. Follow me on social media and follow me on YouTube. And it's called Your Mind, Your Rules. That's up to you. I'm only your backup plan. I'm only your support person, helping you through the mission of actually improving your life. So, if this helps, subscribe, and I will continue to be posting CBT-based tools on here on YouTube, and this is going to be a weekly thing if I can, due to medical reasons. However, follow me, click the button and subscribe, and hopefully you'll see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.